Okay, how's everybody doing this afternoon? Actually got it right this time. We are almost 6:20 in the afternoon here in San Diego, California. And of course, my name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego, or EOS Bitcoin. I think I call it EOS Bitcoin San Diego now. And the reason I'm calling it EOS Bitcoin San Diego is because I really follow two blockchains. I follow the EOS blockchain, being smart contract blockchain, and of course, I'm a maximalist as far as Bitcoin's concerned. I actually believe Bitcoin will pretty much dominate or eat up the entire financial world. And that's kind of what this video is about right now. So I'm going to entitle this video that why do I make these videos? Why? Oh, thanks. Somebody. Leonard, thank you. Appreciate it. Giving me the thumbs up, letting you know I'm live. I don't know when I come on, and I don't know how often I'm going to be on. I'm going to be kind of away next week, so I will put out no videos next week. I'll try to put out a few more videos this week, but the week after I'm going to be away. So I'll try to put out another couple videos this week because I just want to, really talk about the overall market and kind of say to you, I don't know sometimes why I even make these videos. Why do I even make these videos? Sometimes it seems like such a waste of time to make the videos. And I'll give you an example. People just kind of sometimes they just don't want to really. Let me change my thumbnail so you don't see only me. You can see the page too. Sometimes people just don't really want to gravitate to some ideas that are indisputable, that cannot be argued. They just don't want to get it. And of course, I've been making videos about Bitcoin and EOS for a long time, but I was running through my videos the other night, and I actually found this video I thought was pretty interesting. I made this video 10 months ago, and it's an all right video. I didn't think it was one of my best videos, but it certainly was my worst videos. But I thought the subject matter was absolutely perfect because what I said, buying one Bitcoin today will change your life. Okay, this was 10 months ago. If you actually look at the video, go to the video and take a look at the video. It was made on May 12, 2020. If you go to the markets at Bitcoin and you go to May 12th, we'll go there here in a second because I've already done this all, so I'm doing it because I want to show it to you. But we'll just go out for 1 year. So we can go back to May 12th, 2020, with that video, the day the video was made. Let's just go 1 year. Am I getting it? No, that's not right. There we go. A little slow to react here today. Where am I at? I'm at CoinGecko. So if you go back to the 12th of May, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, there, right there. It's the 12th of May. You could see Bitcoin was $8,788.47 the day I made the video that buying one Bitcoin could save your life, could change your life, probably save your life too. Okay, since I made that video about 10 months ago, Bitcoin has made it all the way up to $61,000. So literally like, 8 or 9 times? I'm going to do it on my calculator here. You can't see that. But if you take 61,000, and I believe it was 8,800 divided by 8,800, you're looking at, that's not right, 61,000 divided by, let's just go 8.8. You're looking at about 7 times in 10 months. So I would say that was life-changing money. So if you had $100,000 in Bitcoin that day, May 12th, 2020, and now it's 2021, almost a year later, 10 months, you'd have had 10 times, or almost 7 times your money. So if you had $100,000, you would have $700,000. If you would have had $10,000, you had $70,000. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And, I always talk about, there I am there, growing a beard just like I'm growing today. But I'm not only talking a little bit about Bitcoin, I'm probably talking about EOS too. So on May 12, 2020, even though EOS hasn't done anything spectacular, let's see where it was that day that I said that Bitcoin was, buying one Bitcoin could change your life. Let's see what, buying one EOS would do, or buying a few EOS would do. Obviously, EOS is a lot less expensive, so it's you don't have to invest as much. But EOS on 2020, May 12th, go out 1 year. Go 1 year right there. April. I didn't look at EOS. I just looked at Bitcoin. But you could see on May 12th, it was $2.44, which is really pretty quick, close to the low. I actually nailed the low. I didn't do that by any particular way of prognosticating. I just got lucky. I got the low of $2.40, and it's gone all the way up to $5. So, you would not have gotten hurt if you would have bought Bitcoin or EOS the day I made that video. Okay, so that video gave some pretty good advice. Almost 7 times on your money on EOS. on Bitcoin, and at least a double on EOS. But it got 605 views. A pretty crummy video. Didn't really make very many views. That's why I say sometimes I feel like I'm crazy making these videos, because people just don't listen, or they don't want to listen, or they don't, for whatever reason. Maybe they just don't feel comfortable with the digital market. Maybe they just don't feel comfortable investing in Bitcoin. Maybe they just don't feel comfortable that this is the truth. Maybe they want to listen to people like, Janet Yellen. Maybe they want to listen to people like, Warren Buffett. Maybe they just can't quite reach out and understand the direction the world's going today. But anyway, this is, obviously time stamped. I made these videos. They are up on YouTube. You could see it. May 12th, 2020. I'm telling everybody to buy one Bitcoin. If you'd bought one Bitcoin at about $8,000, it went up to $61,000. I think right now it's sitting about $54,000, $55,000. And it has been. This actually is a low day. Actually was bounced up to around. It's been back up to 58, 59, 60. If you watch Bitcoin very closely, it's very predictable how it trades. And I don't need to look at the candles and the charts and all the different things that people do. To me, that's just filling a lot of space for a video. If you're going to be a content creator, you could spend a lot of time and now analyzing the charts. But the charts aren't telling you, they're giving you a snapshot of a past time. I don't think that is completely irrelevant. I think it does have relevancy. But I think variables that are going on today, as far as stimulus is concerned, as far as devaluation of currencies, the fact that fiat money is becoming more plentiful, I think all those cannot be taken in as far as, the charting is concerned. So you really can't look at a chart. I can't look at Bitcoin, for instance, and say, well, we're at, let's see where we're at with Bitcoin. Just take a look at maybe the last 90 days here. I can't look at this and go, well, let's go. Yeah, say, okay, we got a top here, we got a bottom here, we got a top here, we got a bottom here, we got a top here, we got a bottom here, we got a top here, and sit here and say, okay, now this is going up because it's got a big drop right now. No, it could come clear down here, or it could go clear up here. And by looking at this may give me some indications of how great a swing that may be making, because this is generally the volume that's going on. But as far as telling me how high or how low it's going to go, it's probably, like I say, in my opinion, it's probably not even in the top 10 as far as how to evaluate the price. There's so many other things going on. But you can never pick the high. You never can pick the low. All you can do is you can just pick the trend. You can pick the overall way the world is going. And if you want to pick the way the world is going, the way the world is going is the world of Bitcoin. And of course, I really think that, like I had with my last video with my son, that smart contract platforms really have not taken off because simply there has not been enough dApps being built, not enough applications running on a smart contract, and people haven't figured out a way to really, move over to the smart contract. We're still at the stage yet of using Bitcoin as a store of value, and we've not gotten to the point of where the smart contract is going to be able to be the third party in our legal transactions. in our insurance transactions, in our recording deeds and recording land transfers and all these other things that we need to have on the blockchain for things to be more efficient and be able to be utilized better. For instance, everybody knows right now asset prices are increasing. So if you buy a house today and you buy it in a pretty decent neighborhood, you got a pretty good shot that house is going to be worth more money here very soon. And the reason you know that a house is going to be worth more money here very soon is because asset prices are increasing. And the reason asset prices are increasing is because money is increasing because of stimulus and because of all the other activities going on. The problem with money is not much velocity of money because people aren't spending it because we still have a lot of COVID issues that are hindering the economy, that are causing it to drag, causing people to have to you spend more money in order to do anything. I mean, if you have a restaurant, you're going to be put up plexiglass. I mean, if you want to be in a good business for the last 6 months, it would have been making plexiglass or installing plexiglass. Because everywhere you go now, you've got a piece of plexiglass between you and the person that's at the checkout counter, or you between the person that you're sitting next to, or anything like that. So, all these things are driving up the cost of business. So. And then, of course, people being quarantined. So the velocity of money is not very high. The money that is being spent in the economy is not very great, but the amount of stimulus has really exponentially increased recently. So, if you look at charts and graphs, you're not going to see that. But you know that the overall trend of the world is going towards digital money, just as my video in May of 2012 or 2020 and May 12th showed you that if you'd have bought Bitcoin that day, you would have had life-changing money. If you'd have put $10,000 in it, it'd be worth $50,000-$60,000 a day, $70,000 a day. So hey, this is the way it is. Sometimes, like I say, I feel like I waste my time making these videos because people don't watch them. People don't care to watch them. If I had to sit here and I say, look, I got this new super duper trading thing where you can margin your accounts and you can get into DeFi and you can leverage your Bitcoin and you can buy this and you can buy that and you can buy a bunch of Uniswap and a bunch of Compound and a bunch of this. Everybody would be all over that. But if I just simply say buy Bitcoin, the stable, where everybody's going with their money, and do 10 times or 8 times or 7 times your money, people don't want to do that. Even though that is the play to make. Most of the people that I know that throughout the years, because I've known a lot of people throughout the years that have owned a lot of Bitcoin, but they always seem to end up trading the Bitcoin for something else, or doing some sort of swapping situation, or using it to margin for some other thing. And what happens, and this is an old trick that's been played for a long time, if the market takes a big jump like it's done here recently, they're going to lower it and find out who is in a weak position as far as leveraging their Bitcoin. Warren Buffett always says that. It's pretty funny. He always says we always know who's swimming without trunks when the tide goes in. Because when the water recedes, we know who's swimming naked. When everybody's got water up to their waist or up to their shoulders, we all know everybody's got a bathing suit on. We don't know who does or doesn't. That's the way it is when you're margining your accounts. When the water goes away, we all know who's swimming nude, and that's when you're going to get caught. So there's all kinds of swaps and doing this and doing that. I mean, that's basically a lot of what crypto's built on, is just leveraging your accounts. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Although that's a lot of people doing that, a lot of time doing that, a lot of money doing that. It brings people into crypto. So as far as that's concerned, I think it's a good idea, but it's just probably, if you're looking for a way to, build some stability and build some equity and start to build a little foundation here, I wouldn't be margining. I have a good friend. I'll tell you a story. I have a good friend. Had I think 2 or 3 Bitcoin. And he bought them pretty cheaply. And I talked to him one day and I said, he goes, well, now I'm up to like 4 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin. I can't remember what he had. And I said, how'd you do that? He goes, well, I leveraged my 2 Bitcoin to buy another 2 Bitcoin. So he borrowed against the 2 Bitcoin to buy another 2 Bitcoin or something. And I told him, I said, man, I wouldn't recommend that, because if the market drops on you and they pull back on the market, which they like to do every now and then if they want to take up some Bitcoin, just like they do with the gold and silver market, I said you're going to get caught short, and if you get caught short, you're going to lose your Bitcoin. So far, I don't think it's. I think so far it's worked out for him. I mean, he hasn't lost his Bitcoin, but I keep warning him, don't get yourself in a position where you don't have any of it leverage. So anyway, very interesting stuff. Very, 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 very interesting stuff. And let me go back to my regular screen here, and I just want to bring up one more article here before I take off today. This article. Let me see. I gotta move this down so I can read the comments. EOS fell off. Yeah, EOS is always falling off. That's because we've been conditioned to believe that making money overnight is too good to be true. True. But, I mean, that's true. I mean, I remember, and I got a lot of history in finance because I was a stockbroker when I was like 21 years old. And got to deal with a lot of people through my early 20s in the financial world, much before most other people even get involved with money and finance. That was my choice of profession, was to be a stockbroker. So I got to see a lot of people do a lot of crazy things, and I see a lot of people margin, a lot of people buy penny stocks, a lot of people over leverage. I see a lot of that kind of stuff. So I got a pretty good feel for really how treacherous the world is as far as finances is concerned. And I also got the feel for when you're making a good profit and when you should be satisfied. I think owning Bitcoin is absolutely satisfying. If you're trying to get something from a few pennies to $100, that is going to be very difficult to do. But to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times in 10 months with Bitcoin has not been very hard to do, especially recently. I mean, I know we had our downtimes during 2018, 19, and somewhat of 2020. We had a couple years of not making any appreciations. But still, when it does make appreciations, it makes up for those bad years. So it always seems to me like buying Bitcoin is a safe play. That's why I'm a maximalist. That's why I believe in Bitcoin. That's why I think everybody should put every penny they have into Bitcoin. I'm not saying to do that because, you shouldn't do that unless you have already built up a nice Bitcoin foundation. You've already made some pretty good money at Bitcoin. If you've done that, then, my thing is, throw it all in Bitcoin and let it go. If you see a few down days, well, hey, you've had enough up days to make up for the down days. I'd rather have my money in Bitcoin than any place else. But back to my house analogy. So anyway, right now, houses are probably going to go up in value. So if you buy a house, decent place here, we're in Southern California, pretty close to the beach. You buy a house down here, you're going to see some quick appreciations. And they go up pretty fast down here. I mean, everybody hates California, but I can tell you one thing about California: real estate market is very active, and it's usually always going up. In the 25 years I've been out here seeing the real estate market, I've only seen a few bad years, and I've seen a lot of good years. So I would say buy real estate would be better than almost anything else you could buy except for Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin over real estate, but the problem with real estate, how do you, if the real estate goes up a lot, that's very difficult to pull any money out. I mean, you have to refinance. You have to get a lender. You got to get somebody that's willing to put some money out for a period of time, which is difficult to do. Who wants to lock up money for 30-year fixed mortgages right now? That's crazy. So it's nice to own, $1 million home, but it's really tough when you own the $1 million home, but you can't come up with the $500 or $600 or $700 a month to pay the utilities or the electricity. And that's what so many people fall into. So with Bitcoin, you're completely liquid. With a financial asset like a house or even gold or some other commodities, you're not so liquid. It's hard to get your money out of those things. So be very careful when you do stuff like that. So what did I do with my article here about Bitcoin? So right here it is. So I thought this was a pretty good article because it pretty much it talks about Bitcoin. As I talk about Bitcoin, how it's gone up and how people like Elon Musk have been involved now, and of course, Michael Saylor and some other. Even he says even Dogecoin or Dogecoin, a gag coin launched in 2013 and based on a mere meme, hit record highs in early February as celebrities showed their support online. It's a boom time for cryptocurrencies with Wall Street investors as well as Silicon tech giants diving in head first. So that's kind of like the first part of this article. But part of the article I want to focus on, and and I'm going to leave this live stream here pretty quick because I just want people to think about this. This is very important stuff. I think it's talking about this. Who are they talking about? I don't know, somebody here. It says, in referencing, of course, venerated venture capitalist Mark Andreessen. I think he's the guy that started Netscape. Seminal essay, Why Software is Eating the World, published 10 years ago. At the time, Mark pointed the idea that all companies must, in essence, become software companies to compete in a rapidly evolving technology landscape that was to be the 2010s. Not only did Andreessen accurately categorize the prevailing creative disruption at the time, but he also effectively predicted the economic takeover of disruptive software. First tech giants such as Uber, Airbnb, Salesforce. Cryptography, I can never say that word, is driving a creative disruptive in a global economy that promises to dwarf the software revolution of the past 10 years. Mark's article was written after the open source movement had already won the war against Microsoft and other proprietary platforms. Thank God for that. Microsoft and their proprietary software has been overwhelmed by the open source software. And of course, blockchain's open source. And was beginning to eat the world of non-software industry. Today, over 80% of the internet is based on open source software, including banking. Cryptocurrency is following the same path. What was historically a centralized, consolidated industry is now being eaten by decentralized open source technology. The origin story of Bitcoin in public consciousness starts in 2008 with the publication of a paper by mysteriously and likely pseudonymous Satoshi Satoshi Nakamoto's paper outlines the technology underpinning of a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash backed by cryptographic ledgers of all financial transactions known as a blockchain. This is it. This is where it's going. This is why when I made a video last May, that's gone up 8-10 times from where it's at when I made that video, and nobody noticed. Only 600 people even bothered to watch the video, and it was the time of that video was perfect. The blockchain is cryptocurrency's secret weapon. It establishes a method by which cryptocurrencies can be created or mined in crypto speak and hold their own inherent value without the need for an underwriting third party such as central bank. Since 2008, we've seen an explosion of competing cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, the progenitor cryptocurrency, only accounts for about 68% of the market's capitalization today. So I'm not going to read anymore because I don't like to read. Like I said, my mind doesn't process the words through my mouth very well. So here we go. The fact of the matter is that Bitcoin is eating the world. It's going to totally control and eat up all resources, all financial resources. I've said this, and I'm going to say it again. And I don't care how many times I say it, just like in 2020, when I told you that Bitcoin was going to take over, or a single Bitcoin was going to be a life-changing investment. I'm going to tell you here right now, you've got to buy Bitcoin if you want to stay ahead of this financial onslaught of creating money, which is what governments do. They create money. That's all they really do. They just create money. That's all they do. They don't build anything. They just create money, and then they create money and spend it or give it away. And that's a lot of what they're doing right now is giving it away. And you're never going to keep up with that. I don't care how hard you work. I don't know how many days you work. I don't know how many hours you work. How many jobs you have. No matter what you do, you can't keep up with that. You got to get out of that hamster wheel that you're on. You got to get out of it because it's not working. I don't care what you think. I think. Fact of the matter, it's not working. This is where everybody's at today. Everybody's on this hamster wheel. And they're running around and they think they're going to keep up with this. And wow, I got a $1,400 stimulus check. Wow, they gave me some unemployment. Wow, they gave me this, they gave me that, and everything like that. Well, you'll never keep up with the amount of money that they're making because they're making it quicker. It's like going down here to the beach and thinking that you're going to somehow you're going to get all the sand off the beach. It's never going to happen because the ocean's washing it up faster than you can remove it. So probably a poor example, but it's just never going to work. It's never going to work. Probably a better example would be trying to go out here and try to bucket out the ocean. If you want to bucket out the ocean, see how far you get before you give up. It's not going to happen. I mean, there's more water out there in the ocean than you'll ever be able to take out. Or store or put anyplace else. Well, the same thing with money creation. Money creation is going at such a fast rate right now that it's impossible to keep up with it. And if you don't keep up with it, you're getting behind. And what eventually happens is your standard of living starts to deteriorate, and that's what's going on with a lot of people today. Standard of living is going down. So that's where we're at. And like I said, I made a video about this 10 months ago. Talking about this. That's why I say sometimes I wonder if I'm just crazy making these videos, because I don't think people really want to think about it too hard. They'd rather find other things to do, to think about, including people that I know. So I understand. I get it. It's not that easy to just totally immerse yourself in Bitcoin for a few months and feel totally comfortable with the whole process of Bitcoin. I know that's not an easy thing to do either. So I get that too. But anyway, give it a thought. I'm definitely a Bitcoin maximalist. I think EOS is probably going to do very, very well in the very near future. Somebody asked me the other day if they should hold on to their Bitcoin. Hold on to their EOS. Absolutely. I mean, I if somebody gave me $1,000 today and said put it someplace, I'd probably put 900 in Bitcoin and 100 in EOS. That's probably where I'd go with it. I'd probably be doing a 90-10 split. I don't know if I'd buy any Ethereum. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd buy anything else. I'd probably buy those two. Because I do think EOS is a smart contract platform, and I think Bitcoin's a store value platform. That's just the way it is. And that's what I'll probably continue to believe until somebody shows me otherwise, or until I see something where somebody can build something that scales on the Ethereum platform and not come up with some sort of ideas that just are, a lot of theory. And they've been working on this for a long time. A lot of smart people. I mean, I'm not saying they won't get it figured out, because that's how things get figured out. When a lot of smart people have a serious problem, they work out and somebody eventually figures it out. It's just like I was talking with one of my sons the other day. Every time somebody puts a challenge up, who can break, 10 seconds in the 100 meters. Well, now 10 seconds in the 100 meters is nothing to break. I think Usain Bolt's down around 9.5. Who can break 9.5 in the 100 meters? Somebody will break it one day, and when somebody breaks it, then somebody will run faster than that, and that's just the way it is. But the challenge has been thrown out there to try to figure out a way to scale Ethereum and to scale Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't need to be scaled because it's store of value, but Ethereum does, because it's going to run smart contracts, which is going to take a little bit of transactional speed. So until somebody figures that out, I'm still with EOS, because obviously they scale. And of course Telos, which is just a sister chain of EOS. All these chains that are running on the EOS.io software. They're all working. So that's what I believe. That's what I watch. That's what I think. And like I say, until somebody else shows me otherwise, that's exactly where it's going to be. And the other thing if I've thrown the offer out to a few people, if you'd like to join me on this channel, very easy for me to send you a link. And, I'd like to have somebody that doesn't like me. I'd like to have somebody that says, hey, I think what you're saying is not true. I like Dogecoin, and this is why I like Dogecoin. I'd like to hear somebody come on and give me their opinions of some of the other coins that they like, not the coins I like. I talk about the coins I like all the time. I'd like to hear a really good argument. And what I'd really like to have somebody do is come on here and give me some real good evaluation. I mean, some real technical, doesn't have to get super technical, but give me some information. And I've been looking for these videos and I can't find them. Somebody that can really sit down and describe the interoperability of blockchains and how things are going to run on side chains and clear through Ethereum, and how that is going to somehow be, with the gas fees and all the other stuff going on with Ethereum, how that's going to work, how that's going to be something that's going to be, it's going to match speeds of EOS, and it's going to be something that transactionally is viable to run multiple dApps, thousands, millions of transactions. I'd like to have somebody come on. I mean, and you could get technical. And if you got somebody, I'd like to have somebody talk to me about that, because I don't even hear anybody that can talk that subject and make it sound like it's makes any sense outside of this is sharding or plasma or whatever else they got going on, and all these other side chains that they're going on. So anyway, if you got somebody that has that background, I'd like to hear it, see what they say. I'd like to hear what they have. Okay, I got another one. Let me see. I got a couple other challenge like Telos. How about Wax? I can see challenge and the NFTs. Yeah, I mean, I like Wax. I've seen the Wax founder. Can't think of what his name is right now, but I've listened to him before, and it's good blockchain. So, do you think decentralization can survive if government adopts Bitcoin? Yes, absolutely. Governments are kind of funny things. They have to bend to the will of the people sometimes. Governments can push as long as they can push, but the will of the people usually is the way the world works. And if people want Bitcoin to survive and work and they use it, it's going to be very difficult for governments to stop it. Impossible. Because governments, the main thing that anybody in government wants to do is maintain power. And the only way to maintain power is to keep the people, you don't have to maybe treat them, really well, but you have to at least be knowledgeable of the people around you, or you have to keep people around you that are supportive. I like to study history. An interesting story about Napoleon. Napoleon caused a lot of trouble in Europe. He marched into Eastern Europe. He marched into the Soviet Union, the Russians, and then they actually exiled him, and then they got back, and then Wellington fought him, and of course they didn't want to kill Napoleon because they knew if they killed Napoleon they would martyr him. So they just stuck him on some island down in the Pacific, out away from everybody else, so nobody could, he was just, so far away from anything, nobody could do it. But they didn't kill him. But they didn't kill him because they knew the will of the people wouldn't have it, because then all of a sudden his followers would reorganize, and you wouldn't have Napoleon. You would just have Napoleon and his following at it all over again. So they didn't do that. They just let him go off into some quiet island and just kind of, I think he died fairly young, but they just let him go off and go away. But they killed all of his other generals. I mean, all the other people that were, in his armies and stuff. They killed everybody, because those guys weren't as popular as Napoleon. Napoleon was the popular one. So yeah, governments do bend to the yield of the people. So I think governments are pretty much okay with Bitcoin. I don't think they're going to be stopping it anytime soon. And I don't think there's going to be anything happen with Bitcoin. You have too many people that if Bitcoin were to go really bad, there would be some serious lawsuits going on. Not only serious lawsuits, there would be people that would, there would be companies that would just literally totally fail if Bitcoin went bad, because there's a lot of money invested in Bitcoin right now, and there's only a few million tokens. So it's the demand is great, the supply is low, it's fixed. The rewards keep getting less and less with the halvenings. So this is just it's a perfect recipe for Bitcoin to just continue to climb. So